Okay, this is David C, Coach C, and I am walking you through the most basic personal budget, which can easily become a business budget. It could become a multi-million dollar budget. And the truth is that we teach real estate agents that work for us about personal budgeting because unfortunately, many of them don't understand it or no one has ever slowed down to teach them this. And so we're reaching back even further, even younger, to try to teach younger people how this works as well. And this should be a fundamental teaching in any young person's life so that they will be equipped. And the hope is by the time they actually become an adult, they will have this knowledge and it can not only help balance a household, but hopefully one day it can balance America's fiscal responsibility and eliminate waste and also increase the chances of success across small businesses in America. But it starts with the individual. And so I've tried to break this down and you can have this template because it's so simple. You don't need a sophisticated software. You don't need an online tool. You just need to know the fundamentals. And it is the most basic element of math. So let's get started with it. And essentially here, money in, this is the money that comes into your world. And so it's up here in the green. I'll call it green for now, but it's either called black in the future if you get more sophisticated, or red. And the reason why it's called black or red is if you're losing money, you typically see red. If you're earning money, you typically see the color black. But it's better for this illustration that we just think about, hey, this is the green stuff. It comes into our world and it's coming into our world over here in the notes in a couple of different ways. Is it coming to you through a W-2 paycheck? Or is it coming to you through a 1099 paycheck? Or is it coming to you in some other form or fashion? When you think about it, those are the three options that I'm sure there's more out there, but this is the most basic level. A W-2 is when you work for an employer. So you would be an employee, you go to work and you work for an employer and you trade your time for dollars. And as a part of filing and having a W-2 come to you, what you're saying is, please, Mr. or Mrs. Employer, along the way, please remove my taxes as I go to satisfy the federal government and also the state government and all of the different forms of taxation. And if you've never slowed down to look at your W-2 pay stub, I would highly, highly recommend it. You need to understand the math to truly get the concept of how money's flowing into your life. Now, if you don't work for an employer and say you are self-employed, or someone doesn't want to carry you on their payroll, you may get a 1099 paycheck. And what that means is if you earned $100 today, then you will get $100 from the person that employed you. And at the end of the year, when it's time to file taxes, they have not filed any taxes for you. So you better hold back some of that $100 to satisfy the tax burden on the federal government and the state government. Now, typically you will not see reporting until you get over at this day and time in 2020, until you get over $600 earned, okay? That's when someone becomes responsible to send a report to the government that says that you have received compensation from them directly. So this is how money flows into your life. Please understand how it comes in. If you get a W-2 pay stub, please slow down to research and understand all of the deductions that have been had, because you know you're not getting the top gross amount, you're getting a net amount that comes to you. And many people get it direct deposited, especially young people today, and they sometimes don't even get a physical pay stub. So if they don't go online and look at it, they really have no idea all the deductions that are happening. And you're responsible for it at the end of the day. So take the time to learn about it, okay? Now, when we get to the red part, well, that's the money out. Those are your expenses. And here are some line items that come up often, especially in family households. I like to tithe to my religious organization and to charities. And so I hold that into my budget and I'm disciplined with that. Some people like to hold on a little bit of after-tax dollars into savings so they'll be ready to invest. Not a bad idea, but hey, we all have to eat. So we buy groceries. We all have to have things like shampoo, and we like to have deodorant. We like to have trash bags and all those things. We like to go to Walmart or Target or the grocery store to grab some of those things, cleaning supplies, and those would be considered household or personal family supplies. And then every now and then we like to eat out. Okay, if you have children, they may or may not go to public or private school. It doesn't really matter. I promise you this, children cost money. Even if they go to public school, you're still sending checks to the school, and you should allocate something in your budget for that. You can peruse all of these headings, but you really should understand that they're interchangeable and you can put more things in there. But you absolutely do not want to ever get surprised. Okay. You have to put your rent in there if you rent. And if you have a mortgage, you have to put your mortgage in there. You might have a home equity line of credit. So some of these expenses are fixed, meaning the bill stays exactly the same every month. And some might be variable, especially if they're on interest rates that change on a monthly basis. So an example of a fixed expense would be if you know that you are going to pay someone a certain amount of money on a monthly basis. Say someone comes over and washes your car and they haven't changed the price on you in years. You could probably call that a fixed or a very predictable expense. However, if you buy things by the gallon, like propane or anything like that, that could be a variable expense because, or water, because you really have a different amount of usage every month. So know the difference. And if you ever need to err on the side of caution, always cheat the bill up a little bit higher in your budget so you don't catch an uh-oh moment. No one likes an uh-oh moment, okay? So the money goes in, the money comes out, and if you are watching every dollar, then hopefully there's money left over. Or if you haven't watched every dollar, then you are unfortunately short. And that's how people easily get into credit card debt, because they don't understand cash flow management. And I can talk to you about that very simple terms at another time. But then if you have money left over, are you saving and or investing? Okay. It's important that you are saving and or investing for the future. And so all these expenses are the things that come across your world typically on a 30-day, but you have to also understand that there are expenses that come across your desk that are not happening every single day, and we forget about them. Are you planning to take a vacation this year? You have to plan for it. Did you know you get a property tax bill if you own property tax? Did you know that if you have a termite bond on a house, someone may come to you every year and say, we need to renew that bond? They could do it every year, or they could do it every 5 years. You're going to have to pay auto taxes on your car. Okay. And these are things, auto expenses. We don't plan for our car to break down, but rest assured you are spending money. You need a new set of tires at some point in time. How about if you're need to change your air filters, or you need to have someone come service your air conditioning in your house? How about if your yard gets fixed, or maybe it doesn't get fixed for you, it gets fixed automatically and you have to pay a homeowners association expense? How about a flood insurance bill? Or if you have jewelry or handbags, or if you have assets that are precious metals, you need to secure them. How about the things that come that you don't expect to come, like your kid wants to go to 7 or 8 summer camps as opposed to 1, right? Or did you ever remember that you need to do some Christmas shopping or some Hanukkah shopping or some holiday shopping of some sort? How about even putting in a cushion for a margin of error? You need to really understand that you don't want to have any surprises. And this is fundamental life planning. This is a life skill, and it should be in every school. It used to be there, called home economics, and it is our goal, my goal, Coach C here, to put it back into the public consciousness, because we will all do better together if we all know how to run our own household budgets. And you can turn this into a business budget later. Thank you for listening. Please use the spreadsheet and let me know if you have any questions.